So, mate, to kick it off, tell us a little bit about the Dreadful Tides. How did you guys get together, and what kind of music do you guys play?
Yeah, man. Right, so we got together, really it was the start of last year. My guitarist, Struddy, put up a ad on Facebook in one of Melbourne Musicians, I think it was the actual page it was in, and I saw it and was like, you know what, I've just moved to Melbourne. I was in regional Victoria, and I moved up here, to focus on music a little bit more and things like that. So I replied to his ad, and then I caught up with him for a jam. He was jamming with a bass player at the time, and the three of us sort of got together and wrote what turned out to be our first single, which was Crazy. And then our bass player left and decided that he had some other things that he had to put in the priorities. So by that time we had found a singer, Holden, and then Darius, our bass player, sort of come along last. And really it's been around 6 months. We've been a proper full together band. Being that it's been in COVID, we've managed to work really quickly, and we've managed to get practices in when we got them in and everything like that. So the writing process to us was awesome because we got that feel for each other early on, and then ended up in lockdown for ages. So we've just been on this massive writing and promotion, just this journey for the past 6 months of not knowing when we're going to gig or anything, and just trying to get a weekend here to get in the studio and things like that. So Crazy and House of Pain, our first single and the new one that's coming out, we actually recorded in a weekend because we were only out of lockdown for that weekend.
And did you guys record in a studio, or did you have to record at someone's house as well because of the lockdowns?
No, we actually got in at Light Hill Sound Recordings in Riddles Creek. A gentleman named Ricky Ray was our mixer, producer, masterer. He did the most incredible job, especially with this track. Our first track we knew was going to be quite a solid rock song. House of Pain, we knew was always going to end up with another dimension to it, and it was just going to have this real feeling. For us, it was awesome just that Ricky really understood us and brought it out beyond our vision. And the first time we heard it, we were just gobsmacked. It didn't even sound like, us to us, because it was just, that's what we wanted. We just were trying to get there.
And was there something that you guys want to achieve with this band? Like, when you guys all got together, was there something that brought you all together and you guys started a goal together or anything like that?
The biggest thing for us was just we were four dudes that wanted to play music, and we have the same sort of, taste in music, and it just fell together. Look, for me, I've always been one to, really put myself forward, put myself out there. Justin's exactly the same. Struddy, he has an Instagram with 10,000 followers that he does all his guitar work and everything on. So, for him it was more getting out there. Our singer, same thing. He just wanted to. We've all got the same mind, and the same mind is we want people to know who we are before we know who they are.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned also about the move from regional Victoria into the city. How did you find that? Because I had to do that as well when I went to uni, and it has its good and bad moments. How did you find that big move, and what sparked that big move for you?
Look, for me, I've lived everywhere. So, I've done stints in regional because I'm originally from regional down Latrobe Valley way. And then I was in Melbourne for a while. I took off up to Townsville, played in some bands and stuff up in Townsville, and did some tours and things like that off that. Then I came back, went back to regional, and then sort of decided it was time. At that point, I was actually playing with a band in Campbellfield, where we practice at the moment, and I was driving down Monday nights, and I'd leave work at 4, get there about 7:30, do band practice, and then drive home afterwards. So pretty much the move for me was getting some time with the family and getting everything closer and just setting ourselves up to be able to just do everything more accessible.
Yeah.
Really the ultimate goal was to make everything for my whole family accessible, but the bonus out of it all is the dreadful tides came of it. So, it's a win-win.
Definitely. Well, we're going to play House of Pain in a moment. Tell us a little bit about the track. You mentioned before that this track has ended up being a whole lot better than what you guys could ever imagine. But what is the track about, and how did this track come about?
All right. So House of Pain for us is quite a deep track. When you hear the lyrics, you'll hear a lot more of the depth of it. The biggest thing with this track was, for us, it was written about a struggle, like a mental struggle, and just the struggle within yourself and how to overcome it, and how to, are you going to break through, or are you going to get stuck, and are you going to get locked? So for us, it was a big thing about, we wanted to present a song that people can take multiple ways. People can look at it and they can get a feeling like, cool, I listen to this and I come out the other side, and the villain one, or, the hero one at the end of it. It gives everyone who listens to this track, it comes out with a slightly different meaning for them, and that to us really, really shows that, the track hits home for a lot of people in all different ways, but with that real foundation of the inner struggle that we really wrote this song about.
Awesome. And what's the future for you guys now? Like, are you planning on bringing out a couple of more singles? Are you going to head into doing an EP, an album, and do some live shows?
Yeah, well, the original plan was actually to do an EP. We were going to go in and originally just, debut with an EP. COVID cut that short, and as I said, we only had a couple of days to record, so we put out 2 songs. The plan was to go back within sort of, October. We're meant to be back in now, early November. With the restrictions and everything, we've pushed that off to the start of next year now to go, and, we'll probably make it bigger and grander, spend a bit more time on it. But our biggest focus right now really is just locking in a heap of shows for, over Christmas, start of next year. We're planning a regional Victoria tour early next year. We're planning on getting to a few other states as well. We had, a few different states booked before lockdown. We've had to move them, so it looks like probably around February, March, April time we will actually be getting out, and hopefully we'll be coming to, we'll go to South Australia, we'll go to Queensland, New South Wales, Tassie, wherever will have us where we're going to get to. So the big plan for us is just we want people to hear our music.
Awesome. Well, we cannot wait to see you guys play live, but right now we are going to play House of Pain for the first time. What would you like to say to all the listeners out there before they take a listen to this track for the first time?
Enjoy it, guys. Just bob your heads, get into it, feel it, and if it hits you like it hits us, you're going to absolutely love the track. So, once you hear it, jump on and make sure you like it on, Spotify and all the rest of the stuff, and jump on our socials as well, and make sure to hit us up, because we have a heap of stuff coming. There's a heap of really cool things that are going to be popping up over the next, few weeks to a couple of months. So make sure you jump on all that.